Come explore the unknown and enter the Chamber of Shadows, a podcast for the dark, haunted, and mysterious. My name is Celine, and I am joined by Endora. Say hi, Endora.
Good evening, spooky fam.
Oh, all right. Well, we do have a couple things to go over. First and foremost, if you are new, welcome. I don't usually sound like this. I karaoke'd a little too hard over the weekend. If you are coming back, you're returning. Welcome back. We're glad to have you. I wanted to touch base. We threw this in at the end of the episode last week, so really want to make sure we get this in here now. We are switching things up just a little bit. We are dropping down instead of releasing weekly, we are going to be releasing 2 times a month. We're doing this for a couple reasons. First and foremost, we want to make sure we give adequate time and conduct adequate research and do the best that we can
Right,
for us and for all of the listeners.
right.
So we are just going to give ourselves a lot more time for certain things. This will probably mean our episodes might be a little longer than the standard 45 minutes. We'll probably have more that are at about an hour, if not over that. So, not every single one, but just kind of we want to do the best we can and not rush through things. So,
Yeah,
was there
we'd
anything?
like to offer an even better product. So,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah, beautiful. Well, do you remember what we're doing today?
I think it has something to do with the Emerald Isle.
Emerald Isle?
Yeah, are you not doing anything from Ireland today? I thought that you were.
I
Oh,
am.
okay.
Is that what they call
Yeah,
Ireland?
yes. Yep.
I don't think I knew that. Okay. Yes, because I leave next week, I will be in Ireland starting next Friday for my
That's
birthday.
so awesome.
I'm so excited. We are going to do an Irish folklore episode.
Oh, I love me some folklore. I love it. Yeah,
Yes.
let's do it.
Perfect. And this will be the last episode released in March. We'll start next month, just so everybody knows. We have not forgotten about you all next week. We will start next month with the release twice a month. Now, Irish folklore, wow, there was a lot. I really got down and, I did a couple different folklore that I wanna cover in this. So, because of that, some of this is going to be more of a general overview. There's a lot that goes into each of these specific folklores in and of themselves.
Okay.
So, I got 4 of them together. We'll see. We should be able to get through all 4. One of them's very, very short, but yes, we'll see as we're kinda going along. The first thing I wanted to cover before getting into the different folklores is the core of Irish mythology. So they've got these cycles. Have you heard of this?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
So they've got a mythological cycle, the Ulster cycle, the Fenian cycle, and the historical cycle.
Not never heard that before in my life. Nope.
Okay, so with a mythological cycle, this includes tales of the first inhabitants of Ireland. So
Oh,
this is all BCE.
what? Okay, cool.
Yes, the Ulster cycle covers events in the northern region of Ulster, which is present day Northern Ireland, which is technically the UK. This is CE, it's right around Jesus Christ era. Then we have the Fenian cycle, which recounts adventures of a warrior, which we will talk about. This is 3rd century CE. And then we have the historical cycle, which, despite what it might sound like, it contains predominantly mythological elements with real historical figures mixed in. This is where we kind of get some of the recounts of what did I put here? It's supposed to say Irish kings. It's supposed to recount some of the deeds of the Irish kings.
Okay, alright.
Yes, so different elements going on here. I wanna save the very first one I did research on probably for middle to last because it's one of my favorites.
Oh.
So, I'm gonna go down here. The first one I wanna talk about is the Pirate Queen.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Do you
I never
have you
heard
ever
of
heard
it.
of the Pirate Queen?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, so her original name was Grania Niwalia, which translates to Grace O'Malley.
Okay.
So I'm gonna call her Grace to make sure that I don't mess anything up.
Okay.
I did look up for a lot of these words because they are Gaelic and Gaelicized terms, words. So I did look them up, but if I mess them up, it's completely unintentional. I did type out, like, phonetically how it's supposed to be said.
Oh,
So,
smart.
yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Because I did not wanna mess any of these up. Now, Grace O'Malley was back in the 16th century. It's estimated that she was born in around 1530. During this time, Dublin, bordering counties and coastal cities, Dublin, Ireland, they were technically English, while the rest of the country was Gaelicized Old English and Native Irish. They had autonomous territories. There was stealing of cattle, poaching of castles, feuding, intermarrying, and fighting for dominance. We see a lot of this. We're aware of this within Scottish, Irish, and other cultures.
Sure, just
Nothing
humans.
atypical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
nothing
just how
atypical.
our species behaves. We got it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They would also see where weaker families would align with more powerful ones. Henry VIII was the first English monarch to proclaim himself the King of Ireland, quote. But during Elizabeth's reign, Queen Elizabeth I, was when English born began settling in Ireland. Now, this is important because Grace was a member of the Gaelic aristocracy. Did I say that right?
Aristocracy.
Aristocracy. I'm
Get
like,
it,
there's
girl.
there's
You
a
can
way
do
to
it.
say it. I'm like aristocracy, yes. Like I said, she was born in around 1530 and she was an only child. She was the daughter of one of the lords of the O'Malley clan. So they owned castles and forts in County Mayo on the west coast. Do you know where County Mayo
I
is?
do, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
that's
going to
where
say for
Garen's
anybody who
from. Garen
oh,
shout out, Garen. I love
shout
you.
out. Yeah, so for anybody who doesn't know, if you're looking at Ireland for reference, Galway is on the west coast. Above Galway is where you'll get County Mayo. So, the O'Malleys and the O'Flahertys earned livings off of land and sea, which was kind of rare for the time. They were doing trading, shipping, and engaging in opportunistic piracy. Grace would eventually, being the only child, follow in her father's footsteps. Eventually, she married to one of the O'Flaherty's heirs, Donal. She had a great dowry. At the time in Ireland, it was a little bit different. So if there was any dissolution of marriage, whatever was owned by the wife would be returned to the wife.
Yeah, and that was very rare. That was specific to Irish culture. That was very rare
Yes.
that that happened and just
Yeah.
on the planet, period. Yeah,
Right. And they really respected that for both, because I think I was reading too where, they couldn't take anything of their husband's land with them as well.
right.
Like, it was very separated. Um, so again, women regained control of any personal property that they brought to the marriage. Her husband, this heir, wasn't really the greatest from what I was reading. He was described to be hot-headed. Well, he's Irish. He was described to be hot-headed and inept. So Grace is actually who kind of took over the mantle. He had this feud with one of the neighboring territories, and eventually, because of that, he would be killed during a territorial skirmish. Grace would return to Clare Island, which is where she was from. Even though, he died, she still didn't take over his stuff. That it was still all separated.
Right.
Does that make
Mhm.
sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is kind of where her pirate queen legend really begins. She eventually married a Richard Bork. One of the legends states that they were provisionally married for about a year, but there's no really distinct evidence of this. Allegedly, he returned, found his clothes packed, the doors were locked, and Grace was kind of dismissive of him. That's kind of what people use as their description of when they got divorced. But there's actually another interpretation that led to the belief that they were married until death. One of this is because she actually remained on his property, in his territory, on his property at his residence. Remember, divorce would have required her to return home.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm, mhm.
um, it's even believed that when she died, that's where she died as well.
Okay.
So, yes, I am going to go with the belief that they did not get divorced and that they stayed together. Um, it is said that she had children in her first marriage and a son in her second marriage. His name was Tibbet. There's a little bit of discrepancy with that, but I'm gonna again go along the lines of she had that son. It was actually rumored that she had him while on one of her boats.
Oh. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Now, as a pirate, obviously, she spent a lot of time at sea. She fought really hard against English expansion in Ireland. She's described as, quote, the nurse to all rebellions in the province for 40 years. There's reports that her son and her brother were taken by the English, which eventually led to a meeting that she had with Queen Elizabeth.
Like, taken, like, kidnapped or taken, like,
Yes.
jailed, or why did they take him?
I think it was just, she is this pirate queen who is going against the crown, and they're like, "Well, this is our land." So they kidnapped them, they took them.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just kind of that like territorial battle.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So there was one source that actually described this meeting between her and Queen Elizabeth as elderly, experienced women, both leaders in what was perceived to be a man's world.
I mean, where
I had to include that because that's so
yeah,
powerful.
where to lie. That's not a lie. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. So these two women talk and they come up with a deal. Grace is going to stop supporting Irish rebellions and she's going to fight for the English in exchange for her family's release and the curbing of harsh English leadership in her territory. So the English is going to leave her territory. She gets her land back.
Okay. I mean,
So,
what
does
she's
that make
supposed yeah,
sense?
it does, but what
Yeah.
it doesn't really sound like what she chose to do. It sounds like that's what she was forced into. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they made the deal, and that deal did not last long because neither woman kept up their end of the bargain.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a shitty
Yeah.
deal. No.
It is. It is. It really is.
Yeah.
Now, the true extent of her control is undetermined. It is believed that extended from Clew Bay in County Mayo to the Galway Bay, but she is credited with attacks from Donegal all the way to Waterford. So that's do you know where those
I
are?
don't.
Okay, so Donegal is up like do you know where Sligo is?
Yes.
Okay, it's above Sligo.
Oh, okay. That's pretty far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Waterford is all the way you go down, you pass Galway, you pass Killarney, you pass Cork. Waterford's all the way on, like, the other side. It's on
Okay.
the southeastern side.
Okay. Okay.
So that's I mean, that's a massive
Yeah.
territory.
Agree.
That's massive.
Mhm.
Massive. It's said that she began with 3 galleys, which galleys are these fast oared vessels that descended from Viking longships.
Okay.
And some other smaller boats. She would levy tolls on passing ships, raid vessels, coastlines, and islands, and plunder boats in distress or that were left unattended.
Wait.
Little was
I'm sorry. How are you in the ocean and you just leave your boat unattended? What does that even mean?
well, maybe, like, if something went wrong or if, like, if a crew, like, was washed overboard, maybe? That's what
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
That's just what I'm thinking.
Okay. Yeah, I can't imagine why
You know
you
what I
would
mean?
just leave it unattended. Even if everybody's going ashore, you leave a couple people behind for something.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you seen there's a ghost ship, though. I think up in is it Antarctica, maybe? Have you seen stuff about that?
I've seen stuff about ghost ships on Lake Erie, but no, uh-uh.
Okay. There's some kinda ghost ship, I think it's in Antarctica, and it's just like a ship that's been sailing for years and years and years and years, and there's no crew on it.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
insane. Now, little's known about the fleet that she used to maintain. We know she most likely started with about 3 with some other smaller ships, but some estimates say she had as little as 5. Some claim that she had as many as 20 vessels at one time, most of them being small, fast, maneuverable, and either oar or sail driven.
Right.
She did die in 1603 and is most likely buried on Clare Island. All in all, she was labeled an icon of international feminism and was a strong, independent woman.
Sure. Yeah, before that was a thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, wow, that's an amazing story. I love that story. That makes me wanna
yes.
read about her more, Miss
I
Grace
it
O'Malley.
right? And she goes by so there's another name, I didn't put it in here because I knew I was gonna botch it and I really didn't wanna do that. But it essentially was like it it's a term for bald.
Bald?
So yeah, so it's theorized that she either had, like, little to no hair or she cut her hair short, so they, like, just nicknamed her, the certain nickname. She's got, like, 2 or 3 different names that she's called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, but it's all talking about I noticed that actually with a lot of the things when I was looking at all of this, there's a lot of things that kind of go hand in hand.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually scribbling down all her information so I can read more about her later. Yeah.
She
Wow.
yeah, and I've got some like, the sources that I have, I mean, there was one that just kept going on, and I was like, "I can't add all of this." Like, it's not physically possible.
Mhm.
But yes, so, I mean, I can even send you what I have as well.
Okay.
It's yeah, she was really, really cool. Do you want creepy next, or do you want not creepy?
Um, let's save creepy fur towards the end.
Okay. So I'm gonna take us up to Northern Ireland. So this is technically part of the UK. This is, kind of short, but it goes hand in hand. Remember when I said earlier, with the Fenian cycle where it recounts the adventures of a warrior and stuff?
Mhm. Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, okay, so this is one of the warriors that they were talking about. Well, I'm gonna call him Finn McCool. He also has an Irish name that I was like, "There's no way."
It sounds very much like McLovin. What? Finn
Oh,
McCool?
that's
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the story is about Finn McCool and Giant's Causeway. Do you know what Giant's Causeway is?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I had it on here. I think I didn't save it, but it's up in Northern Ireland, and it's like these massive
Oh, okay.
basalt
Okay.
stones. Yeah, and it's, like, interconnected, and they're like columns. It's really interesting.
What is it? What is it for? What is its purpose? What does it do?
I'll get there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, Finn McCool is a myth because he's a giant.
I mean, is he a myth? I'm
Well,
just asking.
that's the question. Now, he lived up there and in Northern Ireland, and there was another Scottish giant named Benandonner.
I've heard that name before. Yeah.
Yes, and he made a claim for Finn's island of Ireland that he had. Well, this pisses Finn off, so he takes these boulders and he begins throwing them into the sea in Northern Ireland.
Okay.
But he liked the way that they fell, so he decided to use these boulders to make a bridge or a causeway, a giant's causeway because it was big enough for a giant, and it reached all the way to the Scottish Isle of Staffa, so he could challenge his rival to a duel. Finn gets over there and he realizes he really underestimated his opponent because Benandonner is huge.
Okay.
So Finn backtracks. He's like, "Hold on, I gotta think about this. I need to switch some things up." So he comes back and he decides to go a mental route rather than a brute force route. So his wife, Dive, disguises him as a baby.
Okay.
Yes. So Benandonner arrives and he finds Finn's wife tending to her huge baby. This is when Ben realizes that if Finn's baby is this big, Finn's gotta be massive. So he retreats. And when he retreats, he tears away bits of the causeway. So this severs the ties between Scotland and Ireland to prevent Finn from following him.
Okay.
So Fingal's cave is where Benandonner is said to have lived. And that actually shows similar geology and appearance to Giant's Causeway in Ireland.
Oh. Hmm.
Yes. So, beyond the myth, scientifically speaking, Giant's Causeway is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is the result of an ancient volcanic explosion from roughly 60 million years ago. The lava left a series of 40,000 interconnected basalt columns hugging the northern Irish coastline, and apparently in Staffa as well.
Oh, I love that. I love
Isn't
that
that
story.
cute?
Yeah. Yes. That's a good
Ugh,
story.
I was going through this and I was like, I know it's short, but I have to include it because Giant's Causeway is like one of those things in Ireland that everybody's like, you have to go see Giant's Causeway. And I did not know this story existed. And I don't know. I just think it's cute.
I like it too.
Finn's like, "Oh, this guy is huge. Let me make him think that I'm big."
I'm gonna take care of my giant baby.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious. I love it.
Okay. Do you want creepy or do you want fairies?
Oh, okay. Let's do creepy first.
Okay. I know, because fairies actually has the fairies that I did has a lot of information, so that's why I wanted to save it for last. Have you ever heard of the Dullahan?
I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
think so.
So the Dullahan is a headless horse rider or coach driver, and It's said to be the embodiment. I said that right?
Mhm.
Embodiment?
Yeah.
Embodiment. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why my brain's like, "No." The embodiment of a Celtic god, Crom Dubh. Now, Crom Dubh is a deity associated with agriculture, fertility, and human sacrifice. He is often associated with Cruach, Crom Cruach, which basically these two deities, the words for these means the bloody crooked one or the black crooked one or crouching darkness.
Oh, well, all of those are scary. So, okay.
Yeah, it's all terrifying. Historically, one of the early kings of Ireland worshipped this deity, and this was a time where human sacrifice to gods was a normal ritual. This was a thing. Now, allegedly, the deity demanded human lives to be sacrificed, and his method was via decapitation. When Christianity came to Ireland in the 6th century, these rituals stopped, which is about when the first story of the Dullahan began, and the belief that the Crom Dove took his physical form so that he could still gain his
Oh,
sacrifices.
okay.
Yes. So there's many other stories on how people think he lost his head. There's a theory that he was a soldier instead in a previous life and his head was taken while in battle.
Okay.
Some people suggest he's somebody that's roaming for his lost head, but others believe he already has it and rides with a darker purpose to take souls with him to the afterlife.
Just like our horseman over here. I wonder
Exactly.
where that story came from. Huh.
Yeah, interesting. Huh. Now, as far as his appearance goes, he's commonly portrayed riding on the back of a black horse or riding in a black carriage that's being pulled by 6 black horses. The carriage is said to be made of coffins, tombstones, skin, skulls, and other bones.
Right on.
Yeah. Allegedly, fire emanates from the horse's nostrils and hooves as they strike the ground.
I
Yeah.
love this so much. Mhm.
Same. He wears a long black cloak that flows behind him as he rides through the lands. His severed head, when he has it, is described to be covered in rotting flesh and gives off a horrific odor. His mouth split into a terrifying grin and eyes looking back and forth for the next victim.
Yes.
He's known to appear after sunset on certain festivals, and it is said that if metal is thrown on the ground before him, this can cause him and his horses to stop and flee.
Oh.
Yeah, so this was at a time in Ireland where they had gold coins and stuff.
Mhm.
So they believed that if you threw like the coin in front of him, it would make him go away.
Okay, so it wasn't a specific metal like iron or anything like that, it
I
was okay.
no, I don't think so. I think it was just, at least from what I found, it was in general.
Here here's a ingot, get lost.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Just take a huge, like, bar of metal and, like, throw it out there. Now, the Dullahan is said to be able to enter through any opening regardless of being locked. It just opens up for him even if it's locked. It's said that if you look at him, you would be immediately blinded as he whips their eyes out with a whip that's made from human spine, or by throwing a basin of blood into their eyes.
Okay, I just have one question, and why have we not seen this movie? Why have we not
I
seen this
know.
movie?
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
He this is creepy. He's only able to speak once on a journey, and that's to say the name of the person whose life he wishes to take, and there is no defying this call. So it's like a grim reaper.
Wow. This
Yeah.
is choice. This
Isn't
is
that so
so
creepy?
good. Yeah, I love it so much. Oh,
I just, like I don't know.
yeah. It's excellent. Very good.
Man. Alright. Well, now to my favorite, because I love my
I know.
fairies.
Well, you're basically Sookie, and I've told you this, so I don't know.
I love fairies. So Ireland has a ton of different fairies. The one that I found is only one type of fairy.
Oh, okay.
Um, and by the way, I think I mentioned this in here, but leprechauns are a type of fairy.
Yeah, they seem like they fit into that realm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't ever sure if they were their own thing or not, but from what I was at least reading about is that they're a type of fairy.
Okay.
Now, I might go slow on certain words here, so again, it's just because I wanna pronounce everything
Sure.
right. So, the fairies I almost said fae. The fairies I want to talk about are the Tua de Danann.
Okay, come again.
Tua de
Okay.
Danann. So, I wanna start with this manuscript. There's a manuscript that was written. It was 4 Irish historians that came together. They compiled a new history of the Kingdom of Ireland in 1632. This manuscript was called The Annals of the Four Masters. It's Annals. Is that
Mhm.
annals?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought.
The Annals
Look, I
of
don't even
the
know.
4 Masters? Okay.
Yes. Look, I don't even know how to pronounce things in English. Now, one of the authors put in this book, he says, "It is a thing general and plain throughout the whole world, and every place where nobility and honor has prevailed in each successful period, that nothing is more glorious, more respectable, more honorable for many reasons, than to bring to light the knowledge of the antiquity of ancient authors and a knowledge of the chieftains and nobles that existed in preceding times, in order that each successful generation might possess knowledge and information as to how their ancestors spent their time and life, how long they were successfully in the lordship of their countries in dignity or in honor, and what sort of death they met." And this was the historian Micheál O'Clery.
Okay.
It's spelled like Michael, but they pronounce it Micheál.
Okay.
Many of the source materials used to compile the annals and other manuscripts were actually destroyed in wars from 1641 to the end of the century. The annals document the genealogies and successions of high kings, clan chieftains, important poets, and historians. They also included in some political changes, battles and feuds, and battles and wars with Vikings, Normans, and English invaders. The annals record the truths of the Tuatha De Danann, who ruled Ireland from 1897 BC to 1700 BC. So, to kind of put this into perspective, this is about 1,000 years after the Giza pyramids were built and 1,000 years prior to Alexander the Great.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So this is legend. Though again, they've found things that kind of lead to believe otherwise. Um, Now it's reported that they landed at the Connacht coastline and, quote, emerged from a gray mist. It's also alleged that they burned their boats to ensure that they settled into the new land. At the time that they arrived, the Fair Boleg were the rulers, and they were being led by Yoki, who was the son of Urk. Now, the Fair Boleg came from Greece. They were the first king to establish a system of justice in Ireland. No rain, it's reported that no rain fell during his campaign, his reign, only dew, but they still had a harvest each year.
Okay.
Interesting.
Um, I I have heard okay, this is gonna be from my childhood, and this is gonna be from some Baptist Sunday school, but part of the reason why nobody believed Noah is described in that realm as, because it had never rained. It only that the moisture on the planet was just from dew. Yeah,
Oh,
it was just or like dew or whatever. Like it the reason nobody believed that when Noah said, "Listen, it's gonna rain." And they're like, "What the hell is rain? We don't even know what you're talking about." And he's like, "Well, it's gonna come from the sky for 40 days and 40 nights. So, is you
yeah,
is
get
or is
ready.
you ain't."
Yeah,
So, yeah. So that's not the first time I heard that, but wow, yeah, it's interesting. Mhm.
interesting. I did not know that. Okay. Well, the Tuatha De Danann won the battle, but they did allow the Fair Boleg to remain while they ruled.
Okay,
So they didn't kick them out.
okay,
Now, during their reign, they were described as civilized and cultured, and they brought with them 4 great treasures and talismans.
okay. I can't wait to hear what they are.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna talk about them, but throw in the history as well to kind of have this make logical sense.
Okay,
So, the first one is the Stone of Fall. So, it's also known as Leafall, which is known as the Stone of Destiny. It's said that this stone would scream when a true king of Ireland stood on it. It was later placed on the Hill of Tara, which was the seat of the High Kings in
okay,
Ireland, and this became the site of coronations.
okay,
The next one we have is the magic sword of Nuada. Now, this sword, it's said that this nobody escaped this sword once it was drawn, and nobody could resist its power. However, the sword did not make Nuada invincible or immune to physical damage, especially when fighting in magical attacks. So, Nuada was the king of the Tuatha De Danann prior to invading Ireland. He lost his arm during the first battle, and because of this, he lost his kingship. There was a tradition for them that the king had to be perfect, and to be harmed was a detriment. His physician, who was known as the god of healing, magically fashioned him a silver arm. So then they would call him Nuada of the Silver Arm.
okay,
He eventually became king again after the Standing King. However, he was eventually killed during another battle, which was against the Fomorians, which was a race of giant monstrous beings from beneath the earth who would raid Ireland and demand taxes but never permanently settled.
okay.
Crazy.
Wow, yeah,
Yeah. And at that point, Lou became the leader after killing the champion, who also happened to be his grandfather. Which leads us to
oh, wait,
our
I'm
third.
sorry. Did you just say he killed his pawpaw? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow, okay,
Yes. Which brings us to our third talisman, the Spear of Lou. Now, Lu was a man of all trades. He was a warrior king and a god of light, sun, and craftsmanship. Like I said, he became the king after Nuada died. Um, he was long reigning until he died. It is believed that he was killed because of some form of revenge.
Naturally.
Yeah, I mean, um, Dagda was the successor after him, but Lu's spear was said to be an unbeatable spear that never missed its target and returned to the user's hand on command. It was said that it had to be stored in a vat of water so it wouldn't set its surroundings on fire.
Holy.
Yeah. Now we're moving into Dagda. He was the successor, and he had the fourth talisman, which was the cauldron of Dagda. He had a lot of magical things from what I was reading. When I was reading up on him, um, the cauldron was just one of them, and it was the one that they brought with them. But the Dagda was considered the father god of them. He was, quote, "a beautiful god of the heathens, for the Tuatha De Danann worshipped him, for he was an earth god to them because of his greatness of his magical power." He's described to be a mystical, supernatural being with magical powers. Like I said, the cauldron was only one of three implements of power. The cauldron was enchanted so that no matter how many people sat to eat, they would all be fed.
Oh, I love that.
Is that
Yeah.
cute? I think that's so cute. So, eventually, the grandsons of the Dagda ruled, and they ruled until the invasion of the Milesians who came from Spain. So the people before the Tuatha were from Greece. The Milesians were from Spain. So the Tuatha were defeated and became mythology. The Milesians were reported to be the last race to invade Ireland. They're thought to be a representation of the human Gaelic speaking Celts. The legend states that the Tuatha were allowed to stay, but they were actually forced underground. They then became the bearers of the fairies of Ireland, where they became known as the people of the mound, the fairy mounds. Most of the time, they're just called the Sidhe. A revised version of the annal that I talked about earlier explains more. It hints at the Tuatha De Danann being more human rather than divine, and where they're from. So they were from some island cities of Philias, Gorius, Murius, and Findius. I don't know where those islands are though.
No clue. Not
And I don't know if
yeah,
they still exist or if this is like a historic,
right.
like historic
Mhm.
islands. Now, as far as the She go, they are the fairy people. They're immortal and hauntingly beautiful. They're said to travel the mountains and forests of Ireland. They are usually invisible to humans, but can also be found in bogs, caves, lakes, and islands. The forts and mounds that they talk about, they say that these contain entrances to the fairy realm, which they also call the otherworld. It encompasses a wide variety of races, tribes, or types, whatever is over there, who have access to this world and can manifest or affect humans at will. But humans are not usually aware of their presence or interference until it's too late.
That tracks.
Yeah, yeah. They appear to be human-like. Some are small in stature, like the leprechaun. Some can change their appearance. The question is, are they the Tuatha De Danann, or a race of gods and goddesses that were banished? Or potentially fallen angels stuck in limbo here?
Oh.
I had never heard that
Yeah,
theory.
same. Yeah, that's the first I've heard of it. Huh.
Now, I wanted to clarify this because I don't know, we might have some readers who listen. Fairy versus fae. There's so many different ways to spell fairy throughout different cultures. Everybody has their own traditions. In Ireland, they stick to fairy, the traditional Fairy
Mhm.
is how they spell it in Ireland. But for anybody who doesn't know, the Irish are incredibly superstitious when it comes to fairies.
Mhm.
They usually take protective measures such as rituals, and they do this starting at a very young age. They don't usually talk about fairy as it holds to be bad luck, disrespectful, and even dangerous, since it holds the risk of attracting their attention. People usually refer to them, or the good people, or the gentle people, or the fair folk, or the little people. Some leave food and water for them at night. Some keep fires going all night, as the fair folk would allegedly be displeased if there were no fire for them through the night. There are stories of humans traveling to the fairy realm or being taken there and working. The biggest thing for them, though, is to not disturb anything fairy related.
Mhm.
Not circles, not trees, not paths, not nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my last little note here is that I'm just reiterating there are so many different types of fairies. This is just one type.
Right. Yeah. Mhm.
So,
That
yes,
is those were wow.
that's officially everything I have for
You
you.
brought a lot, girl. Yeah, that was a lot.
It's a lot, but again, it honestly, in comparison, it's a drop in the bucket to what's out there. Like, there's so much information on all of this. I was like, first of all, I love fairies, so I'm gonna include as much on them as I'm gonna be able to. And I really only had 3 originally, but I was like, maybe I'll get 1 more just in case," because the one was really short, Finn was really short, and then I found the Dullahan, and I was like, "Gotta add that."
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't realize it was as dark as it was. I mean, a whip he would whip people's eyes with a spine.
I love it so much. Why I want the movie. I want the movie. Yeah.
Like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's good. It's a good
But
story.
yeah, the Dullahan is it's that's supposed to be, like, the origins of our Headless Horseman and
Sure.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Did your daddy's family ever refer to the fairy realm at all? Did
No, I should probably I can ask my grandfather if because it's his dad who came from there. His Definitely his dad. It might have been his mom as well. One side also has history in Europe. Um, so I have very, very little American history aside from my parents and I being born here basically.
right.
But um yeah, I not from what I have been told.
Yeah. I just wondered. My grandmother talked about the little people a lot.
Did
Mhm.
she? My my great grandfather, I never met him, but my family is from County Mayo.
Oh, are they?
They are.
Oh, well, we were right next door in Galway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Hmm, interesting.
Yeah. Yes.
What,
Well,
what are you most
oh,
excited for on your trip?
Galway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're walking the cliffs of Moher on my birthday, so I'm hoping that it's not cloudy and we can see things,
Yeah.
but it'll, I guess, at least be nice to get out anyways.
Well, I mean, there'll be at some point, you'll be able to see. something, right? Because the weather
I hope
changes all
so.
day long, so it's like Ohio,
Yeah, that's
basically.
what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's, in Killarney, there's, I think, a waterfall that we could walk to somehow, so I think that would be really beautiful. I'm I'm excited for Dublin, but I'm not, like, that excited.
Yeah.
You know what I
No,
mean? Like,
I
I know
feel
it's
it.
gonna be another city,
Yeah.
so I'm really excited for the culture of Galway and Killarney. But yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow, I'm excited for your stories when you get home.
I'm excited too. I, I also wanted to mention, kind of going off track here, well, first and foremost, if anybody had anything they wanted to say, any stories, comments, questions, concerns, literally anything, feel free to email us
Places that
at the
she
Chamber
should
of
go.
Shadows.
Places that you should
Oh,
go.
yeah,
Yeah. If you have suggestions,
absolutely.
oh, please make them. Yeah.
Please. Literally anything. Our email is thechamberofshadows@gmail.com. You can find us at TikTok, Instagram, and now Facebook at
What?
the Chamber of Shadows.
Come
Yes.
on, oh,
So
people.
exactly. So that'll be I think Facebook would be an easy place for anybody, if they would just wanna drop something, "You guys should look into this," or kind of make a community on there of people to connect with and talk to. Um, so I think it'll just be a little easier for certain
Yeah.
things. But I'm excited about it.
Yeah, me too.
Yay. Well, on that note, did you have anything else?
No, but I sure am looking forward to more stories. That's that was
Yay!
awesome.
I'm so
Mhm.
excited. All right. Well, peace out. Adios. Sayonara. See y'all next month.
Oh, that's right. See y'all next month.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Bye.